Hello. I'm Savestate. I'm an Ocarina of Time speedrunner, and I'm here joined with two lovely commentators. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Average Greg.
Hi. Sorry. Yeah, sure. And I'm Mutant Aura.
So today we've got a very interesting playthrough of Ocarina of Time. If you haven't noticed, this isn't really Ocarina of Time. This is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But for those of you who didn't know, inside of Super Smash Bros. Brawl is this Masterpieces menu. And inside of that, it shows a lot of Nintendo's old classics that you can play on a timed demo. One of those is Ocarina of Time, and you can see in the bottom right, it says we have about 5 minutes of demo playtime. And today we're going to beat the game within that 5 minutes, believe it or not.
Whoa, 5 minutes?
Actually, less than that. We can, right now the world record is about, what, 3:41? There's a lot of
Something
leeway.
like that, yeah.
It's a little crazy, but I'll let the commentators take over. There's pretty much no stopping in this run. It's just all go. So I have to focus while playing, but I'll let my fellow co-pilots take over. Are we ready to start? Thumbs up? Yep. All right, cool. So interesting thing about the timer is it starts after the first 64 logo goes away. That's when the 5 minute starts. That's when it's finished loading the Virtual Console emulator.
Right, so 5 minutes. Let's get started.
This demo is pretty weird in that it gives you two pre-made save files to start with, one child, one adult, with different equipment for each. The child one's basically useless for us, but the adult one is very interesting because it has some useful items, and usually if you could do something as adult, it's usually going to be faster than doing it as child. The adult file gives us 20 bombs to work with, which is already fantastic, and a bottle, which is also going to be extremely useful by this entire run. Very, very important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, so, bottles, as anyone that's been following Ocarina of Time for a fair bit of time knows, they're pretty powerful, and in recent years they've once again come into their own with a handy little trick called SRM, which seems to have reached well beyond our little circle of our little community.
It's sort of blown up and taken on the life of its own the last 2 years since it was discovered. Here, Savestate's doing something called a Hess, which is a trick that lets you just recoil really fast backwards to get across this onto firewall field. It is a little bit tricky to do, but luckily we've got a bit more time to work with in this demo. Even though it's a 5-minute demo, this should be less than 5 minutes, ideally. And we don't have time to take a few more cracks at it if it doesn't get it this time, if they don't get it this time.
Yeah, so Hessing requires that you target, shield, and hold a very precise joystick position while you roll into recoil. So bombs are usually used for this because they're just convenient and you carry them in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're not easy tricks to do, especially under sort of this much pressure. So
yeah, another little trick to do, something called a pressure jump. You can recoiled off this bomb over the bridge. Doesn't quite get that time, but should be able to set up again. There we go.
Yeah,
now you go over this bridge and quickly into Lost Woods. Lost Woods is where most of this is going to take place. For SRM, you need you basically need an area with low transitions, and this has a lot of low transitions, like area transitions. Because part of SRM and why it works is that essentially carrying items from one area to the other and changing the data associated with those items. Before we get started with that, though, I need to grab a fish in this grotto. And the fish is going to help us to mess with something called the heap.
Yeah, so this is where any of you with a computer science degree will probably be better at explaining this than we are. But to dumb it down really basically, when you drop things in the world, they obviously have to go somewhere, right? And they go somewhere in memory. Now, we can change where this fish goes in memory by doing some what might look like random movements in certain areas. Goron City is another good one because there's a low transition just here. So Savestate is going to do some seemingly random heap manipulation that just sort of moves memory around in a particular way. Drop the fish, and then that fish data is going to be useful later on.
Yeah, a lot of what SRM is, it looks like a bunch of random nonsense that doesn't seem to do anything, but it's all very much required. Like the bombs exploding right there, the sword slash, the great spin, the fish dropping, that bomb throw. Everything is required to set things up in data the way we want them to be.
Yeah, so this section here, for anyone, again, who knows what wrong warping is, it kind of follows a similar thing, where it's related to both your entrance value and the next cutscene pointer. Now, this Lost Woods, while having a lot of different things you can do in it, isn't particularly great for that entrance value, so what Savestate is doing here is setting up a grotto warp to Lost Woods 2, a better Lost Woods for this particular technique.
If Lost Woods is so good, why did they make Lost Woods 2?
And they did make
Lost Woods 2.
And we're about to enter Lost Woods 2.
Enter this grotto, and until it takes us to Lost Woods 2.
Yeah.
Which has much better, as Mutant said, much better entrance values and cutscene pointers that we need to make this run warp to the credits work. A little bit unfortunate. Hessing is a little bit tough to do under pressure, so I can't understand why this is happening. There we go.
I need a bomb drop here. This is a 1 out of 8 chance.
Oh no. No.
No.
That's a reset.
Well,
That's a shame.
that's a shame.
Shame. Too many wasted bombs. You need one more bomb there to super slide through the low transition again.
Unfortunately, we
set up
did a
for us.
15-minute estimation for these resets. Because
Yeah.
you can't just like restart and restart the area, because you are under a 5-minute limit, so you have to restart the whole run. So it's not like, oh, maybe I can salvage this. It just might take a little longer. No, you have to beat the 5 minutes or it's over.
Yeah, luckily, Savestate has given us some more time to speak about some different things. So, again, Hessing's hard, but some of them are required. And this again, they needed a bomb there to perform a super slide, which is kind of a similar thing. But you interrupt grabbing something with the bomb, and it shoots you backwards really quickly in a different sort of way. And that's how you can carry bushes and other things through low transitions. But yeah, we're back to the start again.
Yeah.
I'm going to try a super slide here. It's a little bit safer than a Hess, but it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Super slides are generally like a lot easier to set up. They do require either using multiple bombs or some really weird timing with one bomb, but they're a lot easier to do under pressure than a Hess.
And there we go.
Yeah, so there's a super slide. The main distinction being that it's literally straight backwards.
Yeah.
And you can't control the direction. With a Hess, you have some level of control over where you go, but a super slide is just straight back. But that is useful in some cases because it is quicker over straight line distances.
Yeah.
Also
You can also change direction with a super slide by, but it does slow down the movement you get instead. Normally Hesses and super slides are minus 18 speed, and I think a normal extended super slide is like minus like 10, something like that. So faster than backwalking, but still a lot slower than super slide or Hess would be.
Yeah.
Oh, nice camera.
Yeah, very nice camera. There's one of those weird camera planes there. So if you miss it, it likes to give you a weird angle.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate. Doesn't really matter too much though.
It's worth pointing out as well that the Wii Virtual Console, which is what this Brawl demo is kind of based on, has a very interesting stick mapping for the controllers you can use. And one of those disadvantages compared to the original console is that the region of the stick, we call it S position, where S's and other things like that require you to hold. It's very narrow, it's not very big, it's much smaller than it is on the original console, so a lot of runners will use like controller adapters to sort of skew the mapping to make that a bit easier to hold and to return your joystick to what sort of N64 would map it as. But because this is the Brawl demo, it has to be unique, and the stick mapping is not the same as the regular VC release. So the mapping used for those don't work. So Savestate is currently using the mapping for Star Fox 64, which while being the best one of the options on the adapter is not perfect.
No, it's a little bit different
definitely
than what
not.
I'm used to. But we make it work.
It's one of those small little things that if you do it enough, you'll get used to it, but if you don't play it for like a certain amount of time, you'll just completely lose that muscle memory. Again, these bomb drops and stuff that's happening here, super important. And there's a super slide to bring the invisible bush with you.
And this bush is modifying grotto data.
Yeah, so when this, it makes it so the grotto we enter here will take us to the Lost Woods 2 map.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Got time for a couple of quick donations?
Maybe.
Building?
Yeah.
Maybe like 1 or 2.
All right. First of all, quick announcement. We have just breached $93,000 for Outside of London. Thank you so much. Really going to speed on a few of these. Elka, thank you so much for the $10. Sarah and Hill has also donated $10. It says that 100k goal needs to be smashed, and we are in the process of doing that thanks to your generous donation. Guys Carl has also donated $10 to the finale and 100k. You and we can do it. And Phil Brooklyn, thank you so much for the $20. Another great ESA marathon. Onward to 100k. Thank you for everything, guys.
Oh, no.
This is so sad. That was it.
That
This
looks so
is the
close.
very end of it. We would have had the
Yeah.
setup.
All you had to do was go and get an angle and grab the bush and it would have been over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yep.
caused that?
Yeah, I looked at my minimap at the end, and it didn't look like a standard angle that I was used to. I should have adjusted afterwards, but I think I was running low on time anyways. But we've got enough time for one more attempt. Hopefully we can get there this time.
Yep, fingers crossed.
You got this.
Again, the SRM stuff is very finicky. If you even like slightly off angle with that kind of stuff, it will just break completely.
Mm-hmm.
As you just saw. It's a very, very finicky glitch. Very powerful, but very easy to mess it up. Everything may look correct and look perfect, but you might just be like 1 unit off or less than 1 unit
it's
off.
indistinguishable to the human eye often,
Yeah.
if you're off or not. Like sometimes you can flick your stick, and if you don't flick it perfectly, it's not going to work.
Yeah, of all the different angles that the mini map, or even sort of any sort of visual cue that you can think of, so like Link's hat, Link's shield, you know, looking at certain textures on the wall, any of those visual cues, they only work in quite large sort of chunks of angles. So we're talking like, you know, 20 over 16,000 possible would be like one tiny change in the mini map.
Yeah,
but when you're talking,
there's 65,000 different angles that Link can have. So you have to be at an exact angle for these SRM setups out of 65,000.
Yeah, and luckily we have a lot of movement techniques and ways to get those angles, but as we saw, most of them look exactly the same, so it's hard to tell if you're correct or not. You kind of just have to go with it and hope it works all the time.
Also, another thing I noticed is the setup here on stage is just marginally different sound delay than I'm used to, and I think that's the primary reason I'm missing the Hesses, but
that does actually make a big difference. Like even like 1 frame of sound delay is enough to throw experienced runners off. There we go.
but as they always say, please, no Johns. So,
Yeah, just get good. Learn to adapt.
yeah. Just adapt.
Improvise.
Overcome. Oh,
Here
no.
we go.
Dropped it.
No, so
But
close.
it's still got
far
it.
enough.
Yeah, close enough to make it matter.
Yeah.
We can read some donations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Great. Barbus, thank you so much for the $50, who writes, Link's here, but he can't do all the work. Let's all be heroes and help to stop Alzheimer's. Couldn't agree more. Mike Tech, thank you so much for the $15. No comment, but really appreciate it. And Kane Allo, also the $40. Thank you very much. Anyway, a very special donation from Grink with $36.75. Says, hello, admin of the French Restream. With this last donation, I can officially declare we've reached 2K donated from the French community over the Restream and over there in Sweden. What an edition of VSA. Road to 100K, baby!
Getting there. That's what I like to hear.
Good.
Shout outs to all the restreaming communities. Thank you so much for the support in the events.
We are so close to 100,000. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just missed the leg.
Oh, so close.
It's okay. Fortunately, like I said, we've got a bit of leeway to work with, so not the end of the world.
Yeah, a few small mistakes here and there isn't really a huge deal. You can, Savestate can take their time with a lot of this stuff. Oh my god. A little short, that short hop scared me a little bit.
Sorry for the heart attack.
Short hops are like the worst in this game. I hate them so much.
All right.
This fish is really getting
It's getting a lot of use out.
Yeah. It's having a great time. Seeing all the sights of Goron City.
But yeah, so again, bomb placements. All that basically does is when you can imagine like the heap sort of molding around the things that are in it. So the way things unload when you go between rooms, it's not static, it changes. So if there are bombs and fishes in the rooms, then the way it has to unload everything is going to change. But luckily the ways that it does that, because it is a computer and it's not random, they are the same each time.
Yeah, it's all
But you can adjust how it does that. Yeah.
Yep. Alright, here we go again. Lost Woods 2.
A couple bombs to work with. Fortunately.
Nice.
Nice, okay. Feeling
Very
pretty
good.
good about this one.
Yeah, so again, super slide there, grabbing a bush while a bomb hits you, so you interrupt the grab with the recoil, shoots you straight backwards, and Savestate here doing an angle setup. So, as I said earlier, Ocarina of Time, while 1 in 65,000 is needed, the movement mechanics are very consistent, and yeah, you can perform some miracles.
Oh, it seems good.
Speaking of miracles,
Speaking of miracles, it's about that 5-minute time limit.
Yeah, but we got there. We made it to the credits.
game.
There it is.
Well done.
All right.
Whew.
Oh, wow.
Well done, dude. Well done.
well done.
Thank you. Doing that on a stage is a lot harder than doing it at home in my
Yeah.
chair with no one around me, but you know. All right.
We got there though. Made it through.
Yeah, and thank everyone for the donations so far. We are at, oh, yeah, demo's up,
There
by the
it
way.
is.
There it is.
Remember to
Fine.
buy it on
Demo.
the Wii Virtual Console channel on the eShop if you enjoyed the demo. But yeah, thank you, everyone. So far, $93,000. We are so close. I want to see that get to $100,000 by the end of the day. We have Spyro left, right?
Yes, we have 2 runs left. We've got Spyro the Dragon coming up next with the fantastic Deo Man. And then you raised $10,000 for our very own Bowie the Hero running Octopath Traveler, doing 3 stories. So, yeah, lots to look forward to. We have a few more donations to get through. So, first of all, Shadow, thank you so much for the $100. Thanks and congratulations to all runners and staff for another excellent ESA. Really happy to see the return of an in-person event. Sad that it's almost over, but already looking forward to the summer show. Me too. Stay safe, stay healthy, and let's get to that 100K. Edward Malice, thank you for the $50. Wow, this demo OOT run. I'm amazed that it's even possible.
It's crazy.
Apparently, the programmers figured the easiest way to make the demo was to load a virtual machine and play the entire game, glitches and all. Couldn't be more right. Thank you so much for the donation. We also have an anonymous donation of $25 just saying, let's go, Savestate.
Thank you, thank you.
Monk, thank you so much for the $160. I hate working on a weekend, but it's worth it to give to this amazing cause. Here, take my day wages. That's super generous. Thank you so much, Monk. And finally, Mega Zeus, $50. Let's get that 100K. Thank you so much for the donations, everyone. Keep them coming. We are just over 6,500 away from our 100k target. As I said, coming up next, we've got Deo Man running Spyro the Dragon. Any final words, any final shout-outs before we go to intermission?
Yeah, this is not representative of Ocarina of Time's current speedrunning state. This is probably the most enigmatic, I think that's the right word, like OOT run that exists. SRM, when it was found, a lot of people were saying that, oh no, SRM killed OOT. That is not anywhere close to the case. SRM only added categories. All the existing categories beforehand still exist, SRM free. There's tons of runs for anyone that is looking for something. 80% really fast gets to use SRM. There's old categories like MST and GSR. There's also stuff like glitchless. So please, there's tons of runs for you to enjoy. Don't let this be your only view of Ocarina of Time. Do some research, and if you're interested in speedrunning, please join the Ocarina of Time Discord.
Absolutely. A lot of variety in this game.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, thank you for a great run for showcasing what you can do with a temporary 5-minute demo.
Yeah, you can do quite a lot.
Yeah, fantastic. Anyway, we're going to take a short intermission now, and we will be back with Spyro the Dragon, our penultimate run of the marathon with the fantastic Deo Man. See you all very soon.